Today on This, That, and the Other, we're finally finishing up the 1966 Chevelle rear trunk repair. If you remember from the first video, or maybe you haven't seen it yet, go back and watch it. We actually had our fuel tank falling out. Why was our fuel tank falling out? Because our floor was trash. Today we're going to hopefully get everything remedied, welded in solid, and we may just end up with some burnouts at the very end. So let's get into it. So let's get a look at all of these parts we've got. So once again, back in part one of the Chevelle fits, we seen us cut out the old floor, find a whole lot of other stuff rusted, and put our new floor mocked up in there. That's where we got those three pieces. Those three pieces, SS396 is where they came from. We take a step back though, and it has evolved into so much more than I thought it was gonna be. So we have both left hand, right hand inner skirts. We have both body mounts, not only the body mount brackets for the frame, but also the body mount brackets that go to the floor. We've got brand new body mounts, like the actual mounts themselves in general. We've got them. We've got fuel tank straps. We've got the insulator things to keep the tank from rubbing on the floor. And last but not least, the thing that finally broke our back on the last episode, this cross member piece. So we have got a ton of work to do in this video in order to get everything back together. I guess let's figure out where we're starting first with it. All right, so I believe to do this, we are gonna end up doing a lapped joint. So whenever I actually fitted up those floor pans, they ended up having a lip that extends out about 1.5 inches to right there. We're gonna make our cut mark 1.5 inches in, and we're actually gonna put both flanges stacked on each other and do a plug weld versus mating them both up edge to edge and doing a butt joint that's there. So we've got that going all the way across. The part that we can't see from up top that we have to go down below to see is here's this cross member piece. So this cross member piece, you're looking at it saying, well, how are we gonna do that? It's got body mounts. It's going to be what's holding the actual back half of the car up. How are we going to be able to take this thing off without the back of the car just trying to fall down on the chassis? And that's a great question that I don't know that I have an answer to yet. I think the first thing I need to do is actually get up in there and cut what's left of these body mounts, cut them off, and just see how much does it actually droop or squeeze out, and I guess plan accordingly from there. So let's get them cut out and we'll go from there. All right, so we got the body mounts both cut off, at least the bolts anyway, cut off from them. Now we need to get into finally removing this cross member piece. Now the last clip you just heard me say, how can I guarantee that this thing, once this piece is cut out and these body mounts are removed, how do I keep this distance? The only thing I could accurately do, I think, but I don't know. I don't know whether it's gonna fall or not. So I think what I did, we're just gonna take a measurement from here to the very tip top flange right there, which is 3 3/4, paralleled on both sides, surprisingly. Just because of how smashed these bushings are, I wouldn't have thought they'd been paralleled, but 3 3/4. If it does sag out, well, okay, we're gonna go and fix it from there. The top side's gonna be simple enough, because we're just going to make that cut along that line once again, which will take out that other cross members. That cross member bottom goes all the way down to here, so this will eliminate that problem. And then I think for through here, I'm just going to take initially, I'm not even going to try to remove this flange yet. I'm just going to take and cut all the way along there and get the mass out, so that way all I have to do is have this flange to focus on then. So I think that's the plan. Let's get after it. Okay, so there's no bad ideas, just ideas that don't work. Let's figure out which one we have with this. We're cut. Let's see if it'll come out the way it is. Take two. Still free. Oh, no. Haha, got it. They had to turn it off there for a minute. I was getting kind of aggravated. They had a body mount that was still mostly intact that I had to basically pull this past, like roll this over, pull the bolt out, do all that stuff. But we have her out, and we now have some free real estate here. Now you see this piece? I left these extra long. We know where our flange need to be here, and I had it pretty close to, but I did leave some of these long to where we can adjust. This one here, thankfully, I have like right up next to it, as you can see where he's pretty weak all the way around there. The next place we're gonna have to be is actually removing this thing, because I need to get these inner skirts in, because we see where this cross member actually mounts to those inner skirts. So the disassembly continues. All right, part review time. JEGS lower Chevelle, how do they call it? Trunk extension filler panel for 66 to 67 Chevelle. Trash, freaking trash. You can see, even to get it fitted up to this point, which is okay, it still fits like trash. None of the bends were good. You see where it's protruding past that. But then we come here, this thing was so destroyed that it's trash. And so I think we're at the point now where the only thing we're left to do is try to fabricate our own, because this thing here, I've been fighting this thing for 2 hours, and this is the best that I can get it. So if you're thinking about getting stuff, JEGS, kick rots, it's trash. It's maybe they got other good stuff, but this is not so good. So I guess we'll get to fabricate. And that is looking a whole lot better than that crap that JEGS tried to sell, or didn't try to sell me, that they did sell me. We see we get this piece fabricated in there. If you're first time you're ever watching a video on this channel, you're gonna quickly find out I build a lot of stuff. And it's hard to get through a video without fabricating something, I feel like. So we got inner piece here. We've got it, I'm gonna show how that mating flange is on top. We've got our corner piece that is here. Clearly I can't make all those in one piece. We've got the other corner. Now you see a little bit there, that just needs to get trimmed to where it's flush, but we'll have a flange joint that's on all of these. And then better yet, on the inside, I'm really happy. Let me get a light right quick. I am really happy with how those flange joints lap over there. So I'm gonna be able to seam seal that really well, both on the bottom side and the top side. But this is already tenfold what that JEGS one was ever gonna be, even if I was able to modify it to be what it is. So it took 2 hours, 45 minutes to get everything fabricated on that one. But now I basically have a reversible template to come over here and do this side. So happy to have that done, happy with the way it's turned out. If you're looking in here saying, well, dadgummit, you forgot that too. We didn't. I think what I'm gonna do though is get the entire structure of the floor done and then make that filler piece, because I think I'm gonna have to take that tire off in order to have access there. Whenever I made this corner in here though, I did prepare while I was building that for what I'm gonna do for making this basically where it was rusted out at. So we got stuff in the works, finally through that. If you're thinking about fixing up your 66 Chevelle inner rocker or inner cab, dadgummit, inner quarter panels, do not buy those pieces from JEGS. Are they better anywhere else? I couldn't tell you, but don't buy them. They're a waste of money. So as we lay underneath the car here, I initially thought, okay, we finished up inner quarter panel on this side. I thought I was just gonna jump straight to this side and getting it squared up. And then I kind of got thinking, maybe a guy ought to actually get this guy started on solidifying him in place. Everything's gonna be kind of planed off of this. So instead of making two pieces and then putting this guy in, I think we now start at this side and we're just gonna work our way over and around as we go. So if you guys remember, I just cut that flange, which you can't see it anymore, but I just cut this piece off and left the flange on there. I ended up cleaning off some of the surface rust and marking that with paint pen just to give us kind of a reference. Now we don't have to match up perfect with it because this piece isn't made
as that OEM. It's pretty close, but it's not quite there. But we have that as a constant reference all the way around. I'm gonna work on getting this side solidified first, primarily because this piece will have to mount to the floor. So I'll get them up there, have to mount to the floor. So you can watch me take and roll this piece. This piece still needs to go up on this side, but I might as well get, I've got this place solidified. I might as well get the back edge of this solidified, and then everything will build off of 2 solid points, basically of contact to come with. So we're very, very close with it. Whenever I was eyeballing this up, we not only had that paint pen, you see where my cab or my body mount was rusted out there. I didn't want to get over into here. That shouldn't be there in the first place, but you see that original hole? So we're centered up there. We go to this side, which isn't really rotted out too bad, but we're getting there. We're centered up in there. That's whenever we started putting the Clecos in to lock this thing in place and see what happens.
All right, so if you watched our videos before, you've heard me sing its praise. Like 90 weld through primer. If we're getting ready to do this much work on something, why would we not do a weld through primer to protect in between our flanges? So we've got it laid out here. I've already got the bottom side ready and done in 1 coat of weld through primer. Let's get some on this guy though. Single light coat, wait 5 minutes, ready to go.
Okay, so remember how we talked about everything playing off of each other with this piece and these pieces? We're welded in. You just seen us finish that. We're welded in on everything that is this inner skirt to the actual outside of the quarter panel that's there. Now we've got this guy, this cross member, halfway welded in, backside. Now we got to get him, but to get him we got to get floor pan, and to get the floor pan we got to get the basically fuel strap cross member, and to get the fuel strap cross member now we have to get the actual body mount cross member that's there. So this is a big kind of jigsaw puzzle. Take your time with it, especially now versus having to mop this up 15 times or miss something, have to try to grind it and clean it, then weld through prime it, then mock it, then weld it. I'm gonna have all our ducks in a row on the first round of prepping, ideally, and that way we can just get in, get this whole side welded, then we're on to that side welded, then finally finish up this middle.
5 north side of the Mason-Dixon. I climbed up in a 4-wheel drive that's lifting. Never been patient, never been